One of the largest factors I see when it comes to people feeling challenged or feeling like they're blocked or they have an obstacle when it comes to making change in their life, when it comes to actually doing the things that they want to do, because I think as humans, all of us know, okay, these are the aspects of my life that I'm really unhappy about. This is where I don't feel so great. This is where I'm feeling like things really need to shift in order for me to step into my true happy life. It's like you have this idea in your head, but when you go to take a step in the right direction, or you go to say, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm doing, this is my goal, this is what I want to head to, what then starts to come up is this extreme overwhelm. And I'm not even lying when I say extreme, because I see this a lot from so many people, especially in the community, where they're like, I have this idea in my mind, I know where I want to go, but I have no idea. I'm so overwhelmed even thinking about what the first step is or where to start. So in this case, this makes complete sense because, and as you know, if you've been here for any great length of time, I talk a lot about the ego mind, and the ego mind is always here to protect you. So the ego mind will consistently bring up fear and look at worst case scenarios and remind you of all the things that could go wrong anytime you think about doing something differently. More specifically, when it comes to making any sort of change in your life. And that could be related to seeking out counseling. It could be related to trying to think about or experiment and get curious about what your purpose might be and trying new things. Or even if it's like, I want to go out and be more social. I know right now that's a little bit tricky, but I do have a lot of women that are like, I would like to have more friends. I would like to be more social. But anytime I think about that, I get so nervous, I get so scared, I don't know where to start, and then I just do nothing and I stay the same. And so much of what it means to start taking change by the horns, you know what I mean? Part of what it means to make change is really taking control of that and understanding the part that your ego mind is playing and you staying the same. Because it's going to tell you all the time that you should do nothing. You should just remain as you are because that's comfortable, that's habitual, that is where you're going to be most comfortable. But as you know, in order to make any sort of change in your life, there's going to be an element of discomfort that comes along with it and a big piece of the unknown. So when it comes to getting started, the number one thing you have to remember when you want to get started on any sort of transformation or change journey or improving your life or doing things differently is to recognize that fear is going to come up, that is going to happen. And when it does, acknowledge it. I want you to talk to your fear like it's a friend that's trying to protect you, or it's a parent that's trying to protect you, and say, okay, I realize and I recognize that this is coming up for me because I am a little bit fearful. I am a little bit nervous. And the first piece of the puzzle is to acknowledge and to say, hey, fear, thank you for showing yourself. I really appreciate it. But this is something I want more than leaning into and continuing to be fearful and continuing to be where I am. And I know this is going to be scary, but you and I are in this together, and we are going to walk this journey together as one. And as things come up, I am going to continue to recognize that fear is getting in the way as a means to protect me, but I'm not going to let that stand in my way. And that can be a little bit nerve-wracking in and of itself. But if you want to make changes, because you know, and especially if you're here watching my videos, you've had it. You've had enough. You're tired of feeling the same way every single day. You're tired of feeling like you're not good enough. You're undeserving, riddled with self-doubt, low self-esteem, whatever it might be. You know, and you recognize that you're ready to shift out of that. But in order to do so, it's going to take that discomfort. So allow the fear to be present. There's no need for you to push it down. Recognize it, befriend it. Know, okay, this is coming up for me because I'm on the edge of something that's different and things are going to feel uncomfortable, but it's going to be okay. Because no matter what, I have shown myself time and time again that I am capable of doing hard things. No matter what comes my way, if it's rejection, if it doesn't work out the way I want it to, if the results don't come out the way I would have expected, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, I can take on anything. I am resilient, and I have proven that fact over and over and over again. And part of getting started too, not only do you have to befriend your fear in a lot of ways, but you just have to take the first step. One step in the right direction, even if it's a 1% shift, a 1% change. And I say this to all of my clients, even to some of my closest friends. Sometimes instead of thinking you have to go from 0 to 100, like you have to make change overnight, that's it. You just have to do it. It's here. It's now. There's no in between. What can you do to make a 1% difference in your life today that is different from yesterday? And it could be just kind of noticing when fear is coming up for you, jotting it down. What am I feeling this fear about? Where is that anxiety coming from? What am I nervous about? What am I nervous about? Am I nervous about a particular outcome? Am I nervous that I'm going to fail? Am I nervous that I'm not going to show up for myself? It's about being a very big observer in your own life and being okay with where you are today. There is no shame in where you are right now. And a lot of us are really hard on ourselves. We think, oh, I should have known better. I should have done this. I should have done that. How did I get myself in this state? You're where you're at right now for a reason. You need to meet yourself exactly where you're at and start implementing very small steps in the right direction. It could even be that you're watching this video today. Welcome to your 1% change. Yay! You've done it. You've strategized. You've taken on one thing, but it's about starting somewhere, making a very small step. And then before you know it, one step leads to another step leads to another step. You start to feel better. As you start to feel better, you start celebrating more of your victories. You're recognizing you're making shifts and you're like, wow, I'm actually doing this. But the first step has got to be being okay with where you're at, befriending your fear, and then taking small steps regardless. So what is one thing? My question to you is, what is one small thing you can do today to drive change in your own life? I don't care how small it is. Maybe today it's just taking 2 minutes of reverent silence for yourself. And even if you have to hide in your closet away from your kids or your partner, your dog or your mom, your dad, whoever it is, maybe it's taking just 2 minutes for yourself where you just sit in solidarity and you think, okay, I'm just going to let things come up for me and I'm going to jot down and I'm going to write down what it is. 1%. That's all I'm asking for. But with that, I hope you're happy, healthy, and abundant. And of course, make it a great day. Make it a great day. Make it a great day. I don't even know what this is. Broken Robot. All right, let's get to it.